Hello guys, it's John about Nothing podcast. Um, I mentioned it earlier before we started recording that I'm kind of surprised that Akin came here first. To be honest, I did not see that game. I didn't
He did
see. I
not
think I saw
see.
about 5 minutes in the first half or something.
It's good you didn't see. He didn't miss much, to be honest. Let me even start from there. You didn't
Because
miss,
what I'm seeing online is that some people are saying, especially I saw it on Bright's WhatsApp status that Arsenal were playing Taliban football.
bro. Yeah, even Taliban is not even an understatement, to be honest. We packed the whole of Afghanistan, like we just jam packed everything. I mean, I think one of the issues I had with the lineup was the fact that there was no creativity in the midfield, and considering that we just signed a creative midfielder, right? Or I mean, a creative player generally in the person of like Easy, and then you're starting. What was that lineup again for the midfield? You had Supimendi,
Merino, Rice, and Zubimendi.
Rice, and Merino. Please, on what God's earth is that midfield creative? No, it's not. So I mean, I have a problem with the fact that he was not brave. Ateta wasn't brave enough to just, let's go gun blazing here. It doesn't matter. It's only like third game of the season. If we had go that route and we still lost, I'll be like, at least you had balls. You went for it. Nothing else. Like it just didn't work out the way you expect. Or okay, you just they need to gel more. That would have been a better explanation as to like explain why we lost, right? But we didn't go all out as I would have expected, and that's because we didn't start one player that everyone were actually clamoring for. All through the time that Martinelli played, I didn't see the guy didn't impose himself in that game. He was just not in the game at all. And everyone is saying Madueke, is the only, yeah, he had his chances, but let's be honest ourselves. Madueke didn't also beat any of his man. He didn't beat, there was no case of beating my man to just get through. No, there was that. So I'm not going to like reward average here. So that's one thing I won't do. So he needs to work better. And trust me, Saka is miles ahead of Madueke in that position any day, anytime. On whatever planet we choose to evaluate both of them. So yeah, I had that issue as well. And then his press conference or post-match conference, he singled out Eze that only came in like 70 minutes, that he had the chances that he didn't convert it. And I'm like, it's too early. You are singling out somebody that actually had a lot of, had more, okay, maybe yeah, he had more impact in the game than the Martinelli that was not in the game at all. So I don't know. Ateta really, really messed up today, and I don't want to believe that that is going to be the norm throughout the season. I don't want to believe that because there's also a place whereby the whole players have to like gel as a team, and it's only going to get better. I want to believe that. But if Ateta is going to continue this way, with this whole mindset of defending first or playing this Taliban football, we're not going to get the best out of this team. And if we're not going to get the best out of this team, we might as well just call a new coach to just give us what we want. So yeah, that's just all I have to say. I mean, as the podcast go, I'll chip in more stuff. But yeah, I yield the mic here.
Um, Kule, I know that part of the sports world, like part of sports itself is overreacting. When your team wins, you're on a high. It feels like you guys can conquer the world and everything. Then when you lose, it feels like let's get rid of the manager immediately, because everyone seems to think, okay, Arsenal won their first two games. I think they've not conceded, and they're supposed to be title contenders. Yes, Liverpool have a perfect record, but this one idea that because you go online and you see people talking about the fact that they play bad football, they shouldn't have done that, they can't win the league, and I'm like, for the love of God, it's a 38th game season. We're 3 games in, and we're already saying that Arsenal might not win the league, knowing fully well that if we're going to have that kind of energy, we can say the same thing about Man City. Because after the first week, it felt like, they are back. Now they've lost back-to-back games. And I don't know whether Guardiola played 3-4-3 in that formation. I did not watch the game. So it just seems like this overreaction is sometimes is it feels like it's too early.
Yeah, it's definitely too early because I feel like also it's part of the circle of football now, whereby every weekend, whatever happens has to mean everything. It has to be like the most definitive opinion we have that determines basically the entire footballing landscape until the next weekend. And it goes on and goes on like that. I mean, I definitely understand the fact that Arsenal should have offered not just more, should have offered something in attack. Because until Eze and Odegaard came in, it seemed like Arsenal did not know how to pass in Liverpool's half. But then again, Liverpool didn't really create much themselves aside the free kick. So it's not like Arsenal were really that much troubled in their own defense. So in an ideal sense, that was a proper goalless game. And I think Ateta actually understands that you are not going to win the league based on what you do at Anfield in a sole affair. You have to win the league based on your result on other teams as well. That whole mini league that he has against the top six, it was never really going to wash in the end. I think the disappointment is that Liverpool have a very new defense right now, and it feels like they are very inconsistent, and Arsenal did not test that at all. Like basically, Arsenal could not do what Bournemouth did or what Newcastle did with a man less. So I think that's where the disappointment comes in. But again, it is far too early to make any claims by this point, because basically, so let's put it this way: Man, you are above Man City, so like it doesn't mean anything. It honestly doesn't mean anything. Like that itself, those should solve the entirety for us. Like look at like no,
Wow.
it's not even
It's like,
possible.
even when you received shot fired. Using Mario as a yardstick, not as a bro.
Yes, that's true. Like, it's just 3 games in, and I
I think I disagree with both of you.
okay.
I would explain it simply because okay, I'm not someone to actually jump into, oh yeah, just send him to the ark and just hang him or something, hang him down, leave him dry. No, this is a case of patterns, and if there's anything Arsenal fans understand is that oh, we've seen this play out before, and I think that's what scares everybody the most. That's just it. It's a case of like you're not brave enough to just go all out. That's number one. And number two is the fact that man, I remember something now and that I just forget. I just forgot. Sorry. So, but what I'm just saying generally is that Arsenal fans actually recognize patterns, and it's the fact that we've seen this play out before. You try to be conservative, not playing all out, despite oh you now have all the tools at your disposal right now. Just it got to a particular point in time when I knew he lost it in that game was oh yeah he introduced Dorman, and I'm like at this point, you're just desperate. We can see just how that desperation is just coming all out. So I don't. I just want him to just. I mean, be fearless. Just go for it. Just go for it. Honestly, there's no like. I don't want us to be doing this. Oh yeah, we played better. We had more chances than them. See the
So
difference
Aki,
between.
wait, Aki, are you saying that beating Liverpool at Anfield is a measure of your title capabilities?
No, 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 no. It's not. It's
Okay.
the fact that the way you set up, I have a problem with the way you set up. I had a problem with it,
You don't
and
want around football.
I'm questioning the mindset.
Okay, not the
Oh,
around football itself.
we are not see whatever result we choose to see, it was down to the free kick and that was it. But it's a game whereby you go to like it's one of those games whereby on a normal day if they play 9 out of 10 or maybe eight out of 10 times, it's gonna be a draw. If it continues that way, we have that understanding, right? Like I said earlier, like when I mentioned when I started talking, I said it's just the way we set up. It shows that certain things have not just changed. The mentality is still the same. That conservative kind of football, I don't want it anymore. Because right now you don't have excuses anymore. We have players that can actually play where you want them to play. Why not just use them, utilize them? That's what we're asking for. That's it.
You
I
know,
mean,
Aki, I asked you the same question 2 weeks ago on the first
okay.
episode of this season that if you guys don't win the title, would you get rid of Ateta or not?
I
I'm going to
would.
ask you again.
I would. I
You
will.
would. Let me
I will.
let me direct your attention again. Like I tell you, there's element that just joined in now. Do you understand? The manager, after what happened on Wednesday, almost ran away from the club.
Oh,
Almost told them that, you know what, even Jesus Christ cannot save people. I'm out of it. Then obviously they won yesterday, and we'll come to that in a bit. But if you're saying that, there's something I like to point out to Arsenal fans. Sometimes you need to look at the journey. Where are you coming from? Where are you at the moment? And where exactly are you going to? I know for a fact that you guys are a bit more braggadocious this season. You are more confident. Like, Eze don't land, container don't land, title don't show. Do you get that? That's why I tease you people that Eze don't land, container don't land, title don't show. But ultimately, don't forget that the same way Eze is landing your team. Liverpool were champions last season and have spent more money. And most likely, if everything is to be believed, if all the reports, if the reports that we are receiving is to be believed, Isak will most likely end up there tomorrow.
okay.
So,
At the end of the day,
if Isak lands there tomorrow, they are still favorites.
every team is going to just field their 11 players, bro. It's now down
Okay.
to tactics. That's what we are saying. We're still going to reiterate the thing I said already. If these guys are also doing this madness in this transfer window, and we are already doing something and we are signing players, I mean, everyone can agree on this podcast that, okay, the players that we've actually signed, they are not bad players, they're quality players. All I'm saying is that now you have tools now. There is no excuse. Utilize them. If it doesn't go away, we'll know that at least the mentality is different. You went all out, you were brave. It's the fact that he's still playing the conservative football. I don't cherish it that much.
But he only
That's what
does
I'm
that
saying.
against the big teams away from home now.
Let's not do that. See, we are not doing that. We are not going to be playing the way certain teams would accept, like, okay, because it's now top 6, oh, let's set up this way. No, there's a way you can. Okay, now you only tell me for a fact that you can't afford to risk one position, like bring in Eze for Merino, and then double pivot both Rudimendy and Rice. There are many solutions to these things, for crying out loud. There are many solutions. And if you want to take more risk again, okay, I won't be mad at all. Okay, let's understand. Okay, if you watch the game today, Gyökeres took most of his passes out wide. Nothing was going through the middle. Okay, another risk you could have taken today is, okay, maybe I bench Gyökeres and then put in Merino and but still maintain an easy place. There are many ways you can actually experiment this thing to work for you. If you're going by the fact that, oh, Merino had a great game last season, maybe against Liverpool because of his production and all that. Okay, put him on front, remove Gyökeres, then put in this thing. See, experiment. Let's see now that you have a lot of options. That's what I'm saying. I don't want somebody that is defensive minded. The mentality has to change. That's it. That's the only thing I have to say.
This isn't go long go. LMJ, at least Eze did not land in people's place. Container did not land in people's place. Grimsby, you landed in Grimsby. And after you landed in Grimsby, your manager looked at it and said, you know what? I don't even think Jesus can save these people. This team is gone. Then what happened yesterday against Burnley. Let's create an hypothetical scenario where Man United had lost against Burnley yesterday, and the whole season has been a disaster. Because for once, I was telling myself that I don't even think if Man United replace the manager, things will get better. Because I don't even know what the solution is anymore. It just feels like young managers go there to die, players with talents go there to die, and okay, we don't know what's going to happen. It might stay after the international window. We're going to play Man City, Chelsea back to back once the league resumes again. Is it a case of if Amorim cannot fix this problem for you guys, let's just liquidate the club, everybody go home. You find one team support.
I think it's very straightforward, and I'll track it back a little while to when Ralf Rangnick was the interim manager. He said he wasn't so direct, but he said many things without saying anything. And it's the fact that he said until the root of the problem is gotten to and solved, nothing will change. Back then, he was saying the only time he had a conversation with the Plaza, and it was like, you know what, we need to list every player in this club on the transfer market. He said Glasner. He said, what's the name of this silly American family? He said they laughed. He said they thought he was joking. He said he wasn't joking, and he said that to point somewhere that the problem is not with the players. The problem is not with the manager. Irrespective of the players, irrespective of the manager, if the leadership of the club is not sorted out, nothing will grow in that club. It's just like
News fix that. New
what exactly did the Ineos fix? What exactly the Ineos fix?
everything meant.
Wait now. They employed a sporting director and they sacked him in 6 months. Like, does that look like somebody that knows what he's doing? In less than 6 months. The fact is structurally the club is in decay. It is not. I was feeling that if Saudi had bought the club that time, I felt like, oh, these guys are good at delegating. They would have delegated and done what is right for the club and all of that. But when Ineos bought the club, they started with what the Americans have been doing, focusing on economics, cutting costs, yada yada. To run a football club is different from, there's the business side to it. Football is a business. But when you start treating it like somewhat a cultural organism, somewhat a part of tradition in itself, and you start treating it as a business, there is a normal trajectory that it goes to, and we've seen that. So I am saying all of this to say that irrespective of the manager that is hired in United is on a downward decline, and they will keep going that way until the leadership is sorted out. So it's not about
Amorim in for you.
Like I said last week, I don't really care. I don't care.
No. No, in case of whether you care or not. I need an answer before I move on. Amorim in or Amorim out?
It is not my job. It is not my job to
It's your job. I need to tell you because Sergio Radcliffe has called me now and said, whatever element you decides, what we do. Amorim in.
Ineos out. like my mentor, Unai Emery just did today. Every question they were asking him, he was saying Bizot, Marco Bizot. So everything I'm saying today too is going to be Ineos out.
Kule, before we jump away from Man United and Ruben Amorim, it seems like, how do I put it? It's Man United. Everything is blown out of proportion, and the easiest way to flog Amorim is, oh, this your 3-4-3 system is not working. It can't work in the Premier League. When I hear things like that, I go off because you see Palace, you see Wolves. Conte had done it before. You see Atalanta do it. Xabi Alonso with Leverkusen. It's not a formation that is out of this world. It's not a formation that was created yesterday morning. It's something that has been active for a while. But why does it now seem like the easiest way to flog Amorim is the 3-4-3?
I think because to an extent, a lot of our understanding of Man United is always very reductive. We always reduce it to a certain particular thing. Over the years, it was that there was no defensive midfielder. Now it's that 3-4-3 doesn't work, or like the front foot tiki-taka play doesn't work. Meanwhile, as Element just noted repeatedly, the problem is the structure of Man United, like the total structure of Man United itself. Because, okay, let's say for instance, Man United have good players, but the manager is not coaching them well, and it's playing 3-4-3. You are still meant to beat Grimsby. They're in the 4th division. Let's say the players are average, but they play in the Premier League. You are still supposed to beat Grimsby. You don't start playing Grimsby with a lack of confidence or hoping for penalty shootout, or your expensive striker is afraid to take a penalty against Grimsby. It speaks to the fact that culturally, with Man United, people go there and then they just seem to dip. And that's because United don't make plans. They make brand decisions. Because if you go back and think about it, they got Amorim in November. Did they get Amorim because they got a manager who could actually enhance whatever vision they wanted? Or they were to get the manager that was most popular and the youngest at that time that everybody's talking about? Even if you go back all the way to Ten Hag, did they get Ten Hag because they had a plan for him forward? Or did they get Ten Hag because he was the manager that beat Real Madrid and Juventus 2 years ago? And like if United gets those assets, like maybe say in the first 3 months, they're like their ratings will go up, approval ratings go up. Basically, United are treating this like a TV show. Like if those do so that make the fans happy now, whatever happens in 6 months' time, we'll just do another thing again that will make the fans happy. Maybe buy Matthias Cunha. People are happy with that one. Give them that one and go. They are not making plans. They are not doing anything. And again, we are in a situation whereby Man United might become unmanageable. And honestly, I won't be surprised if the transfer window closes. United have not made proper additions, and Amorim, 2 weeks later, Amorim decides, well, bye bye. Before you sack, let me just go. Because at this point, it feels like that's the only thing. Either coaching Man United is either just a gateway to make money and go somewhere else, or a place to just total your career. It seems like there are no two options at this point, and it genuinely looks unfixable.
Yeah. Sorry. Just to add to what Kule said, like Kule just rounded it up perfectly. Now, during Ten Hag's tenure, they said the issue is he was too pragmatic. He needed to change his ways. He came back, he changed his ways. After the first 3 games, you see that the first 2 games we lost, but we had 60 something ball possession because that was his style. They said he was too pragmatic. He changed. We won some games, but we were playing badly. They started complaining again. Now, it's very easy for pundits to say, you know what, this guy is so stubborn, he wants to be using his 4-3. Oga, you are in the Premier League, you can't beat a side in the 4th division. Oga, are you okay?
Akin, I don't know about Premier League people, but the NFL starts next week. And I think the biggest shock we received last week was before this week, Micah Parsons trade to the Green Bay Packers. Because I spoke to Bolishoff here, he's not here. And we all thought it was going to be like last year when, at the beginning of the season, first week of the season, Jerry Jones just decided, let's make Dak Prescott the highest paid player in the history of the NFL now. Since I didn't negotiate with him at the right time, now let me overpay him and make up for it. And everyone thought, oh, this is going to be settled. Micah is going to get his deal. He's going to become the highest paid defensive player or highest paid non-quarterback in the league. And boom, Green Bay Packers, 2 first-round picks, more picks, Kenny Clark. It just feels like all the predictions that everyone has made has gone down the drain now. Like, we're all scrambling to go and make our predictions again. That, okay, what's going on? Should the Green Bay Packers be favorites because they have Micah Parsons? Frankly, I don't think so. If you ask me who's going to win the NFC...
Me too. I honestly don't think so as well. Yeah.
If you ask me who's going to win the NFC, I'm going to go with the Eagles again because I can't find any other team that is outstanding on both sides of the ball, both offensively and defensively. I can't find anybody that is that good.
Honestly, I mean, and the way football works or American football works is that it's one of those sports whereby they have to play complementary football in terms of like, oh, your offense has to be just as good as your defense. And if there's anything we know about Green Bay Packers, I mean, the defense is all right. It's not like the best in terms of like the division where they are. It's not like the best, to be honest. And they always come up with, I mean, based on history now.
No, I think with the addition of Micah, they're going to go to another level because you have Rashawn Gary, a very good pass rusher.
Yeah, but
you have Micah Parsons, and even on the secondary, you still have Xavier McKinney. My issue why I don't see Green Bay is
it's because of
on the offensive side of the ball. Yeah?
Is it not the presence? Okay, the reason why they're still doubtful in a way is because of the presence of guys. They have the Philadelphia Eagles in that division, and it makes it even more difficult because they are the only team that the offense is just as good as the defense. That's why I said when I started this whole conversation, it's more of like what's going to like determine that a team will go far is complementary football. If your offense is just as good as your defense, okay, no problem. You have the shot, but look at the Philadelphia Eagles now. Look at their offense. Look at their defense. They are packed. Yes, Green Bay might brag of having like the best. I mean, in terms of like individual players on the defense, you mentioned quite notable like players. I don't doubt it. But when you play, let's say, the Eagles now on maybe 5 occasion. If I tell you now, if I ask you a question right now, Ali, who do you think is going to come out in game of 5? You're going to say Philadelphia Eagles. That's just the truth. But then, like I said, it's too soon to write them off. We need to see just how they stack up, like the very first few games of the season, and then maybe I will buy him. Then maybe after like game 5, I want to see just where they are after game 5, or if they at least play one divisional game, or let's just see what their threats are in that division and see just how they stack up against those teams. And then I'll start buying and say, okay, their defense looks all right. I still want to see how they match up with Micah Parsons, to be honest. And to go to see another thing I want to mention, when this whole thing started, I'm like, Jerry Jones has done it again. He thinks he's smart. He thinks he's a genius. But at the end of the day, when I came across this guy's stats, and I'm like, are you telling me that this guy has played this many games and had this amount of sacks? Bro.
Not just the sacks. He has spent 4 years in the league.
Yes.
He has been named to the Pro Bowl 4 times.
4 times.
2 first-team All-Pros, 1 second-team All-Pro.
Rookie of the year. Rookie defender
of the year as well, yes.
You see all these stats, and he was recruited. Is he first round or second round?
First round, number 10. I think number 10 or 11.
And you let someone like that go. You can't like. And I fear. One thing I fear is that he's really sending a message to everyone, like every player out there as well. Like he's sending the wrong message. Let me put it like that, because you want to how do I say, there's a reason why people or players are made certain franchise player, like, you understand what I'm saying? And you don't have much of that in the team, because trust me, Dak Prescott is not a franchise player, I'm sorry to say. Aside the fact that you're paying that big money, paying big money doesn't mean, oh, he's a franchise player. No. I feel like franchise player goes both ways. Like the the GM or whoever owns the team believes that, okay, we believe in you, and then you also believe in yourself that, you know what, I can actually take this team to. That Prescott doesn't believe in himself, I'm sorry to say. And you now go to CD Lamb, you gave CD Lamb the contract, you gave him big money, and then boom, he's balling. Oh yeah, but still he's not the face of the, because this guy can actually, Jerry Jones can actually cede control. That's why none of these players are actually the face of the franchise. Nobody. And because of that reason, a lot of players would think that, okay, you know what, I might as well just do what I can do. I know I'm dispensable. So like, it's not like the owner cares about me. So he lays this wrong thoughts in these individuals, in these players. And at the end of the day, they might not get the best in a season. Like, they might not get the best out of the season, to be honest. So I think he's just going about it the wrong way, Jerry Jones. So that's all I have to say.
To be honest, if you look at it some kind of way, his ego is getting in the way of the Cowboys becoming a better franchise. Because we all know how these things work. When you're negotiating, in any sport actually, you negotiate with the agent of a player, and you go, we're trying to sign your player, we're trying to extend the contract of your player. You discuss with the agent.
Do you know he lied against the agent?
Huh?
Jerry Jones lied against the agent.
Yes, now what I'm saying, like, you cannot say, I have an agreement with the player. I spoke to the player. I did like this. I bring 30 and I say, how far now? You go like collect 2.5, and the guy say he did like this. So that means we have an agreement. The fact that he did like this, when I say you go like collect 2.5 and you did like this, that means we have an agreement. So why is the agent now come to tell me that he doesn't want 2.5 again?
Your player has agreed. Why do I have an agent then?
Why is the agent now? Why? Because next Jerry Jones is saying, why is the agent now coming to tell me that the player does not want 2.5 again, he wants 3K? When I did like this, that Alpha he wants 2.5, and he did like this too. But yes, we have an agreement. So it just feels like, and next thing he's coming out to say stuff like, when I bought the Cowboys, I had a gentleman's agreement with just a handshake. Okay, you bought the Cowboys in 1989. Nobody cares about whether you were shaking hands or not.
Times are different now. Like, you don't, the way things used to work, it doesn't make it. You can't work anymore. To be honest, like, These guys have agents. These guys know they are big stars. They know just what they bring to the table. And because of that, trust me, they're going to bring that when it comes to negotiation as well. Like, oh, look at my stats. I mean, the agent is going to speak for them. There's a reason. I mean, agents are there for a reason. Go and negotiate with the agents. Stop negotiating with players and saying, oh, yeah,
That's not even a negotiation. That just feels like a. See, let's not misinform the people. I've seen instances, for example, TJ Watt signed a new deal this summer for 41 million. It was the highest paid non-quarterback before Micah Parsons' deal. The previous, I think 3 years ago, when he extended his contract, the contract was going into training camp. That wasn't participating in training camp, and TJ Watt was getting angry. Then it got to the point whereby he had to go and tell his agents that was on ground. So amount. He went to meet the Steelers front office and say, okay, you know what? We have agreed. This is taking too much time. I like the deal. Let's go on. That means he spoke with his agents. He spoke to his front office. I said, I like what's on ground. Let's go on. I'm tired of this whole drama. Everyone agreed. But for Jerry Jones, it can't be, oh, when I saw him and I spoke to him and I told him that 2-5. And he did like this. That's enough for me to say, yeah, bring contract of 2-5. I'm sorry. You have to talk to his agent. If you cannot deal with his agent, that's 419 stuff. Away from
it's 419, honestly.
Away from Dallas Cowboys, I already mentioned that I expect the Eagles to win the NFC East. I say NFC itself. NFC East, just the entire NFC itself. And for me, if I was a betting man, I still don't want to bet against Mahomes. Do you understand? He has cut his hair now. It looks like he's angry. So I don't think. I know
this guy needs engagement money in his wedding.
This might be Travis Kelce's last season.
Money to for a proper wedding. So they are all out for. I think they want to make a statement that, you know what, they can't be written off at any point in time, and every team in that league needs to like sit up. So they're on a revenge mode this time around, because last season they know they could have done better. And I think also, I really don't understand what the problem is with some of these players. A lot of players are having, how would I say, disciplinary issues, or they just, they're no longer trying to be professionals anymore. And I don't know. See, money changes people, Sha. That's one thing. That's one thing I want to say for sure. And I mean, I'm talking about Raji Rice. I mean, his behavior off the pitch. It's gonna cost them, but hopefully they get it resolved and get everybody back on track, because they really have a good team now. There is really no excuse, to be honest.
I think we've said that already. It seems like the Chiefs and the Eagles are favorites to replay in the Super Bowl. As the season goes on, would focus more on the NFL, starting from next week as well. LMJ, sometimes when I say that, Ferrari will send me to, God forbid, an early grave. People think I'm always joking, no, I'm overreacting. 4 good weeks break, 4 weeks. I was sleeping, enjoying myself, no worries, don't have to worry about anything. Do you understand? There's no stress, no club, no team is giving me hypertension. Formula 1 is back after the break. I've missed it. Let's start. Thank you very much. We're in Zandvoort in Netherlands. And next thing you know, Hamilton went from, we need to undercut George Russell because he was closing him down. Because of the way the track is, the way Zandvoort is, there isn't much space for overtaking. It's like a street circuit on a track. It's not that kind of circuit. Next thing you know, I saw somebody come into the pits. That was Charlie Leclerc. A Ferrari guy was like, oh, he has come to undercut him. Next thing I know, the screen changes and one Ferrari guy has hit the barriers. I'm like, hey, wait here. Hamilton don't enter bush. Everything does scatter. Safety car. Spice up the race. I'm like, okay, you know what? He made the mistake. He did not notice, like Landon Norris was asking his driver that, I was asking his engineer that, what exactly happened? Did Hamilton go into the painted area when it was slippery and everything? That's when the rain was used. They said yes. He said, okay, why didn't you inform me? Because most times those drivers take part of that track to maximize speed to keep going. But because they started to drizzle at that point, the place was slippery and Hamilton lost control. I was like, okay, you know what? Leclerc is in 4th position. Oh no, he's in 5th position at that point. Let's see how things go. Leclerc can do it for us. Leclerc came out aggressive from 6th actually, overtakes George Russell. I'm like, mommy, let's go. Next thing, it didn't take long for Kimi Antonelli to drive into him as a rookie and send him out of the race. Ferrari, no cars are finished on pole. The only plus for I say on pole, no cars even
Finished the race. No car finished the race.
No point, nothing. Monza is next week. The Tifosi will be there in full colors, but we'll come back to Monza. But I think aside from the fact that Isaac Hadjar happened, he finished third, his first podium, which is very impressive to see. For Ferrari, you have to be looking at it that are we possessed?
I think it is not more of possessed. Is the question should be, are we serious? That should be the question. I feel like the issue when Hamilton made the switch to Ferrari was we were in that state of euphoria, and we didn't look back at the decision making of Ferrari in the last 3-4 years. Because if we had done that, I guess we wouldn't have been stuck with this crazy expectation. We have this expectation, like there's this massive expectation of this perfect harmony, a match made in heaven. But the fact is, Ferrari has been plagued with terrible decisions, and they've changed personnel so much that they need time to build a particular kind of synergy. Because I don't know, it's so early, turn 3. Why will Hamilton, like, why wouldn't somebody, at least somebody in the cockpit, should be able to say, Oga, this place is going to be wet. This part that Hamilton is going, is probably going to want to cut at turn 3, and he should not do it on that paint. But the fact that there's so much chaos in that team, let us be sincere, there's so much chaos in Ferrari. If it was Ferrari's engine that blew up, it would have even made more sense to me. You get, like, I'm like, oh, it's Ferrari now. I can always expect something silly to happen. But
right, I mean, now the same way they run, it's the same way they are running Manchester United.
Like it's similar. That's even the irony of it. It's very similar in the sense that it's almost like the default is chaos. So whenever everything goes as planned, you're like, what's going on here? What's going on here? Okay, what's happening here? This is weird. So like when I realized that it was McLaren's engine that messed up, I'm like, that is a Ferrari thing now. What happened? Why are you guys stealing our playbook? So like, I think it's the explanation that kills, because I was switching between the City game and the race. I was like, and I was seeing Twitter, people were ranting. I'm like, you guys should be used to this by now. Why are you still in this state? Like, you should know stuff like this would happen with Ferrari. It is quite unfortunate because mid-season is a time to like regain momentum, and I was expecting Ferrari to like gain a little bit of momentum, that little push. To me, I feel like it was over even before now. 15 out of 24, like even before now, 14 out of 24 to me was done. Sure, you get. So I felt like, but at least that's mid to late season momentum, such that before we get to UAE, pressure will come there, everybody will be able to push. But the way it looks now, to not make matters worse, Lando Norris did not finish. Like, to me, I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is done already. A couple more good finishes for Oscar Piastri. But the fun fact is, I'm beginning to see some crazy speed from Max. And I'm like, oh, maybe this driver's championship is not done yet.
The only reason I think it's not done yet is because of sometimes things can go wrong. Like Norris, you might get lucky, Piastri might get unlucky, and Norris might come back into play. But for Max, I think it's going to be very difficult for like he has to go supernova for Red Bull to put themselves back into this championship race. That car is too far back. In short, the only reason he felt like Max had some sort of leverage at the start, because Norris made that mistake at the start of the race, the same mistake that he makes every time, and as soon as he sees Verstappen, like it seems like the minute he looks into his mirror and he sees Verstappen behind him, his hand starts to vibrate like, hey, God, I beg, help me here. That mistake is going to happen before someone tells him that, don't worry, just go after him, you have the faster car or something, before he realizes that. So I know for a fact that, I think I've said it before, if Verstappen had a car close to what McLaren had, it's going to smoke the both of them. Easy. But that's not the case this season. McLaren are the superior side, and I expect them to continue to dominate. But you never can tell. One DNF for Piastri, one win for Norris, everything is back to normal. But
Exactly my point. Exactly my point. Like imagine one DNF for Piastri and Norris wins. I think it's 74 points behind Norris. Norris wins. He finishes second. You get like the gap is shrinking
Now
up.
it's
Like
even 30. I think it's 30. Is how do I put it? It's 34 points now.
so, like it's to me the way I see it. It just takes a cascade of unfortunate events for McLaren. The probability is very slim, but there's still that chance. And the thing is, Max is like a shark. Don't let him smell any blood. The moment he smells blood, it's almost like he gets into that zone till the season is done. So the thing is, he just needs to keep that pressure and hope that McLaren makes one silly mistake. Imagine a race that the two McLaren don't finish. Like just imagine a race that they don't finish.
Kind of spices it up for Max.
Like it changes everything.
That chance is low.
Yeah, it's low, but it can actually happen.
It happens. Since you never take a shot before.
Oga, okay, let's assume.
The one time it happened earlier this season was when they were left to just race, both of them. Like
That is it. They just need to finish. They just need to finish qualifiers first, second,
So that
or first, third.
That was just a simple case of okay, you know what? Okay, just two brothers. I mean, fight with each other, whatever it is. I mean, we'll remove our hands for both of you. But I don't think they're going to make that mistake anymore. And that's just one instance whereby both.
Akin, let me paint a picture for you. Qualifiers. Oscar Piastri finishes first. Lando Norris finish. Okay, let's say Lando Norris finished first. Oscar Piastri finished third. He's on second row, and Max is between them. And in the beginning of the race, Max does his normal Max thing. You know, the pressure is now there that from lap 1, Max is already in pole position. The two of you are now behind each other. It is now a.
Okay. No, I like that scenario. But then again, we have to realize that, you know what, even the second driver for Red Bull, it doesn't matter because you have Max Verstappen, right? Because he's a better driver, regardless of if he has a second driver or not assisting him. So I feel like the pressure still remains the fact that McLaren's car is faster.
So it is faster, but I just painted a picture where a collision can happen, where the two of them can be out.
The fact that Max is actually sandwiched between both of them. You have a McLaren car up front, a McLaren car is enough pressure on him. That's what I'm saying. It's enough pressure. Like it's too much.
You didn't get the picture I painted, though. Wale, did you get the picture I painted?
I get your point. See, don't wait. Let me point out. I don't know if you guys remember the Canadian Grand Prix, where George Russell won. Then Max was second, Antonelli third. Then how do I put it? What was the name? No, Max wasn't second. Antonelli was second. Antonelli was ahead of Piastri and Norris. So Piastri kept chasing Antonelli, he couldn't catch him. Norris kept chasing what's his name? Piastri. Up until the penultimate lap, about 2 laps to go, when Norris saw that small space and told himself that you see this tiny colo that is here, I can enter it. And he lost his front wing and he crashed out of the race. But Piastri was still able to finish the race, finish under safety car and what have you. There are instances whereby you see that small incident, instead of one person going off, both of you, one person has killed the race for both of you. Next thing you know, the both of you are out of the race completely. You are bringing in a third person into the championship. And I understand that Akin has a point when he says McLaren will be looking at it that we can't make that mistake. I think Elemeji and I pointed it out last week as well. We can't make that mistake. But now, like they've said now, like McLaren have said now, you will still let both drivers continue to compete and race against each other.
Yes.
When it gets to a certain point, whereby maybe we have about 5 races to go, McLaren themselves will have to make a decision that this is who we have to support.
The reason why I'm mentioning what I'm trying to speak to what Element just said was this, like, based off on just what these drivers actually do to prepare. And they are not just preparing for the race ahead, they're also try to simulate what they did wrong in the previous races. You get what I'm trying to say? We're talking about simulations, like a lot of simulations that they do. Like, it's crazy. The amount of muscle memory to master or to memorize every terms is outrageous what they do. So all I'm saying is that, you know what? There's a reason why this is a marathon. We're talking about it's a season. And the only way you can actually improve as a team is to always make sure that you don't repeat the same mistake all over again. And because they already have an edge in the sense that Aka is the fastest, what they have to worry about now is that, you know what, let's not make silly mistakes. We are in a very good position.
Aki, you are forgetting the human element. Because these are two people that are going for, they are not champions. It's not as if I won last year, let me win this year. I want to win.
None of them have won before.
I'm not
they are both fresh in their career as well. Like,
see, let me point out before we move on from this topic. In 2016, Nico Rosberg won the World Championship on the final day. Hamilton had reliability issues that year. His engine blew up in Malaysia. There were issues that stopped him from going top. That final race in Abu Dhabi, Hamilton needed to win. Nico Rosberg needed to finish outside the top podium places so that Hamilton could retain his title, win the world title. And when they asked Toto Wolff the previous week, he said, we'll let them race. Hamilton even asked Toto Wolff again, he said, we'll let them race. The things that Hamilton did to Nico Rosberg during that race, for anybody that is on YouTube, go and watch the highlights. Hamilton got pole position, Rosberg second. Hamilton went ahead, they chased each other. Towards the end of the race, Hamilton will slow down Rosberg to the point whereby
so that you don't knock me, I'll be out.
No, you don't understand. He doesn't even knock himself. He wanted other people to come and overtake him now. Vettel and co. Vettel in Ferrari, Ricciardo in Red Bull.
At least those will climb podium.
Hamilton already knew that if those guys actually overtake, they're not going to match up the points he already has now.
No, if those guys overtake Rosberg and Rosberg goes to fourth position from second and he finishes the race first, he's going to win the world title. So, on the norms,
he knows it is easy for him to finish first. It is easier for him to finish first than Rosberg to finish fourth.
You are the one in front. Just finish, drive, finish.
Just be running.
Hamilton decided that, you know what? No, I'm not just going to drive and finish my race. No. I'm going to slow him down to the point that other drivers will be behind him and be putting him under pressure. Until the final lap, when I think 2 laps to go, when Toto said, you know what, it's enough. Let's just finish the race. And Hamilton finished the race and Nico Rosberg retired after that race. Like, after that race, I'm going home. I've won my title. I'm going home. So that human element is going to come into it at some point. Either way, I feel like our time is fast spent. There are things that we still need to discuss outside camera. But for our listeners out there, thank you so much for being with us. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube and wherever it is. And for my United fans and Ferrari fans, it gets better.